What up, guys? Bill here, man. Listen, it is tryout season, right? Tryout season over the next couple of weeks. So, a lot of you, man, you're going to be losing players. You're going to be gaining players. You're going to be stressed out. Maybe you're thinking, okay, my time is done. I need to get a new team. Maybe you're like, hey, I don't like this team. I'm going to go start a team. Okay, right? Free world, go do whatever you want to do, right? But the important thing to remember in tryout season, man, is, people are coming to you because you're telling them that you're going to put on a team. And that team is going to have, guidance. And you're actually going to coach and you're going to learn and you're going to mentor and you're going to be invested and do those things, right? And, a lot of times that's hard. And, there's a lot of expectations, there's a lot of stress, especially if you're coaching at the younger levels. Maybe you really don't know what you're doing. Maybe you're just getting started. I mean, 2011, I was coaching Little League. I had never coached before in my life at the softball level, at any level, right? A Little League coach gets sick. Somebody says, hey, anybody want to volunteer? I said, sure, I'll do it, right? I've never done it before, but how hard could it be coaching a bunch of 10-year-old girls? Little did I know, very hard and, but a lot of fun. So, look, I've made my fair share of mistakes and bumps and bruises and lost, a lot of players, gained a lot of players, put a lot of kids through college, won a lot of games, and, run a lot of tournaments at this point. So, during tryout season, remember why you're there. And when you put this team together, remember every team goes through phases of where they're at in their team culture, right? Even when you bring one new player on, right, there's gonna be a time period, right, where you're storming, forming, and then norming. 3 steps to building a team. If you've ever built a team, you know what I'm talking about. If you've ever been a part of a team, you know what I'm talking about, right? That first phase, storming, you bring somebody on the team, somebody leaves the team, and everybody's like, what's going on? Who's this new person? What's their role going to be? How's it going to affect my daughter? How's it going to affect her playtime? Is that kid a catcher? Is that kid a pitcher? How many pitchers we carrying? How many catchers do we have? How many outfielders do we have? My kid's not an outfielder. What do you mean you want to move her to the left side and make her a slapper because she runs a 2.8 down the line? You're going to get all of these things, all of this storm when you first put this team together is going to happen because people are new. They don't understand their roles. They don't understand exactly what they're supposed to do. Maybe they're just pushing the limits to see what they can get away with, right? There's all kinds of things that happen when you first come in as a team. You as a leader are going to be pushed and prodded and pressed, and you're going to be tested, and people are going to see what they can get away what they can get away with. They're going to see, what you're going to do if someone tries them or if someone questions your knowledge or what you know. All of these things happen when a new team comes together. It is the storming phase, right? And that storm, sometimes people leave the team, sometimes people come on the team, and the good teams figure out how to make the storm quick, right? Hello, welcome to the team. Here's our rules, here's our outline, here's our culture. We love our kids. This is what we do. This is our success stories. This is what we're doing to learn. This is our mental game. This is our schedule. These are our uniforms. These are our dues. This is when it's due. Everything is kind of structured. So the storm is quick, right? And the teams that maybe not, right? So you got to look at your processes. It all comes down to what I say all the time. What are your goals and what are your processes in order to get to those goals, right? Some of you have goals just to stay local and never leave your hometown and get all your kids committed. And you know what? Perfect. Great, because there's hundreds of thousands of kids that just want that. Great. Some of you never want to play at home and you want to be gone and out of the state 6 times, a month, and great, because there's a group of kids that need that, right? So just remember during this storming phase why you're doing this, what your purpose is, what programs do you have in place, what processes do you have in place, what does everyone understand? The quicker everyone can come to an understanding, they start forming, which is the next phase of building a team. The team has now gone through the storming phase, so now they're forming. Leaders are rising. People are understanding their roles. Expectations are becoming more clear. Kids and people are continually pushing to the top. The information flow from the top is given out in a timely manner. Changes are calculated. Events are watched. Directors are talked to. All of these things are put into place so that you can now form as a unit. You have a welcoming party, you have a team gathering, you have a team building event, you do a spirit night, you do a fundraiser. All of these things help people get to know each other, help people get to talk to each other, and help people start to form better together as a team, right? And then people start to trust each other. And yeah, sometimes if you don't have an exact culture, little pockets will form, and these people will hang out with these people more than these people. And that's people, man. People are going to do what they want to do. As long as everybody is cool on game day, like, you got to continue to build your team, build your culture, set your foundation, right? Depending upon your age group, there's certain rules for the dugout. There's certain things that, players should be doing as they get older and taking care of, and now turning it over to the players' responsibility. Because guess what? The whole point here is to teach them life. The whole point here is to teach them to be better people. The whole point here is to teach them responsibility, to teach them to have goals, set them, and achieve them, right? So now your team is in the forming phase because you've stormed, you've brought somebody new on, someone's left. Maybe there's a new coach, new rules, new posture. Maybe you're stepping up from B to A. There's all kinds of things that happen in order to create a storm. But now the storm is kind of wheeling down and you're forming, right? Coaches have set clear expectations. Parents have acknowledged those expectations. Conversation is open. Depending upon the age group, rules have been set, right? Players are taking care of certain things. Parents are taking care of certain things. Coaches are taking care of most things, right? And that's just how you form into a unit. And that unit then starts to normalize. Now everybody knows, okay, when we come on the field, this is what we're doing. You're getting the bonehead. You're getting the bucket. You're getting the tee. This is our pregame warm-up. This is how we look. This is how we talk. This is how we dress. This is what we're doing. And people start to understand the process. They start to respect the process. Some people will question the process. Some people won't like the process. Some people won't understand the process. So as leaders, we have to continually reinforce the process, analyze the process, right? And listen to what they're saying, because sometimes we can change the process because we don't always have it right on the first time either. We're people, we make mistakes. You're allowed to grow, you're allowed to learn, you're allowed to try things and then go, hey, that's great, we're going to keep it. That's not so great, we're going to go ahead and toss it, right? And that is how your culture is born. That is how it is built. That is how it is maintained. And you then normalize into the unit. And once you've normalized, that doesn't mean you get lazy. It doesn't mean you get comfortable. It doesn't mean you stop working. It means you continue to train. You continue to focus on you becoming a better coach, learning what the rules are, getting into the book of the organizations that you play, asking the questions, being humble enough to admit that maybe you don't know everything, right? People come up and ask me rules all the time. And, I'm going to tell you about 95, 80, 95, 98% of them, right? I can spit them right off the top of my head. But even if it's something simple, I'm going to defer to my UIC. That's what she's there for, right? That's our normalization. If you have a question, yeah, I'm going to educate you. But if it's a rule determination, right, you have to normalize your processes. So, that's what you have to do on your team as well. And you have to understand that in some way, shape, or form, that happens every time a new person comes on your team. Listen, I can remember being a Navy recruiter back in 2000, and, we'll go back as early as 2005, right? I was the new guy on the team. I had just come to recruiting, right? I was an E5 in the Navy, 3 years in the Navy, had come to recruiting. All I had was an ambition. If y'all ever been around me and you're like, hey guys, I'm here. How's it going? What's up? Right? That's me. Now imagine that in 2005, only being 25 years old, 23 years old, very immature and just bam, 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 bam. But you know what? When I came onto the team, we stormed again, right? The guys that I were there with, great guys, amazing guys, taught me so much, those three gentlemen did. And my zone supervisor, Senior Chief Donald, James Donald, who's still on my feed today. But that process taught me the first part of storming. I was the new guy on the team. I had all these ideas. I had all this energy. I was ready to go. I kind of changed how things in the office were done, and I had to adjust to some things and they had to adjust to some things. And then I learned how to get on their program. They taught me how to do things, and things normalized, right? And that year from 2000, I got to recruiting in 2003, 2005. I was the NRD Atlanta 2005 Recruiter of the Year. I got meritoriously promoted to E6. I was the number one recruiter in all of South Carolina and Georgia that year. And, Nuclear Field Recruiter of the Year, Female Recruiter of the Year, overall NCO Recruiter of the Year. And I got meritoriously promoted to E6. But, that storming phase happened, that forming phase happened, the normalizing phase, it happened. And then I adjusted and got on board and learned and absorbed and went to all the sales schools and went to all the speech schools and talking schools and PSS, professional selling skills, and all of these things that the Navy teaches you when you're a recruiter. And I absorbed it, and I used it to go forward and build my teams. And as I got older and as I got more mature and really figured out what that meant, and look, even in the last 3 years, I think I've matured 20 years just because I'm paying more attention now. So, that storming, forming, norming cycle, man, it is fact. And if you don't believe me, research it. Scientists came up with it in 1965. It was taught to me in Navy recruiting, and it was taught to me by one of my best mentors, James Donald. So I've used it. I believe in it. When I build teams, I look for it and identify it. I can typically gauge when we are out of one phase into another, and I know to expect it when new people come on or people that were there leave. So that's it, man. That is building your team. And there's a million little branches in between there, but those are the main psychological parts of building a team. When teams come together, you have are newly formed. You have the storming phase, new person coming in, new leadership, whatever it is, old person going out, someone retiring. There's going to be a storming phase, and then forming. Everybody's going to start to figure out their role. Where are we at in the chain of command? Where are we at in what our roles and responsibilities are? Who is the leader? Who is the supervisor? Who is who? And that's what forming is about. And then norming. The team comes together. You're able to build a unit. You're now at your best step. You're running like a locomotive. You're doing well. You're analyzing. You're training. You're pivoting. You're coming back. And you're making that team better every single day. And that's how you do it. And in there, if you've got heart and you've got passion and you've got determination and you've got dedication and you've got a will and you've got a want to train people and lead people and teach people and dedicate yourself to that process, man, now you've got something special. Now you've got something that can get better every single day and will be able to handle the changes that come and the way that the wind weaves and bobs in your life. So that's it, man. I love y'all. I appreciate if you made it this far, man. That's building a team. I've had some great teams. I've had some really bad teams. I've had some good teams. I've had some teams that probably didn't think I was the best leader at times. And that's our learning process, right? We listen to that. Every one of you that ever said I was maybe not the best, I just want you to know, even if you don't think it, I heard you, I acknowledged you, and I analyzed it every single time in order to try to get to where I am today, right? And I'm still learning every single day. So what up, y'all? Bill here, man. Check out the sunset coming down behind me. Absolutely beautiful. I'm out here on my rollerblades, man. It was a great day so far. Started the day off at 4:45 a.m. Got a great workout. went to the store, dropped off 3 caterings and a private school lunch today. So a lot of fun there. Served a ton of guests already in the store this afternoon. Now I'm tapping out for a little bit, and then the wife and I are going out and going to do some Christmas shopping and enjoy each other for the night. Look, man, beautiful views, right? When you know, get to a point where you're just ready to get rolling, like you do, man. You take that first roll, right? And you just get rolling. And life, man.